There we go, we're all... Oh. Hello? Controller? Controller? Oh no, this is a terrible way to start things off. Okay, so... okay. So everything's plugged in, right? Alright, what if I unplug it, then replug you back in? Okay, yeah, that works. I don't know why, but controller wasn't working there for a second. Oh boy. I feel like I'm gonna have to get used to that while working on this thing. How we doing today, chat? Let's see, what's on the list? Yeah, that works. That works. Yep, that works. Yep, that works. Yep. Uh-huh. Wait. Okay, there. Oh, right, I have to sprint in order to use my jump. Gotcha. Alright, it looks like everything's functional. Hopefully it's more functional than a PlayStation 4 control. Oh. Hopefully Dualshock 4 is more manageable than Dualshock 3. Can you, like, not? Oh. I swear. These guys are one of the toughest enemies, no matter what new game you're playing, plus or otherwise. They do so much damage. Hey Pokemon, hey Xavier, good to see you both. We having a swell day? Oh. Wait. Wait. Wait a second. Wait a moment. Why am I trying to get more souls? I'm at max level. I'm an idiot. Well, whatever, I'm here. Also, what the hell is... Oh, you're alive. God, 8,000 souls. That's crazy to think about. What are you hiding in there? Alright, what's on the list? We still have lots of Irithyll stuff, but is there anything from Lothric, Lothric I could want? You know, to be fair, since we're here, I do want to test free cam on one of my favorite shots. Ooh. Yes, there we go. God, I forgot the exact angle I got. Oh, you can get it from up here, too. God. Oh, you know what? I can get a shot of this now. I no longer have to get it from, like, under here, which is how I did it in the past. Now I can just be like, hey, let's get a shot of this. I swear, it's crazy to think about. I have to literally rethink how I've taken shots compared to the past. Like, it's kind of nuts, I'll be honest. Like, I kind of don't know what to do with all this power. Come on, wind. Do that magical thing we know you can. Come on, wind. Come on. Come on, you can do better than that. I know you can. Come on. Of all the moments I wish we could turn off physics. and just have this thing just stick straight out flat. Uh, uh. Put it a little lower just to see if that makes it easier. Because this thing seems to have an aneurysm every time it tries to get itself working properly. Do you want to get another shot of the butterflies at the Dragon Slayer armor? Oh my gosh, Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Oh my god. You're a genius. We have to try it. You're absolutely right. That is something we could totally try now. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Come on. Come on. It's gonna be funny because I'm gonna look at all these shots and be like, oh, the original was so much better that I took. Because who wants to wait on this thing to actually work properly with physics? Okay, let's look over here. Oh, so is this no? This isn't spawned in because we're not there. Okay. Ah. Yeah, because I think I took the original shot and it was like something like this, right? When I first took my shot of our good old friends, the dragons. And I got, yeah, his head was up there and the other one was down. I can't remember the exact angle, but I really like that shot. I took a few of them, all of them look really great. It's kind of crazy to think I can try to recreate that with, like, possibly even better, because I don't have to worry about the character model. Like, that's just the weird thing. It's like, oh, I can do those shots, but better. Is there any, like, bird's eye view shots we want of here? Like, we get a shot now of the quote-unquote barracks area here. So, like, what happens if we... Yeah, so what happens if we were to, say, move our character here? Oh, well, that's the answer. Death. Discovered glorious death. What? Where the hell am I? What? What the hell am I doing? Okay, okay, I hear you, game. I hear you. You want me to do this? Oh, okay, sure. It's like, listen, you didn't need to let yourself be all the way in Crazy Town. Okay, so. Oh, this is the same. This is basically the same shot. Huh. I didn't even notice the other flag here all this time. I don't like that's a little too overexposed. This looks more natural. To be honest, though, it's just getting the same thing, except the dragons are in the way now, so let's ignore that. Hello? Alright, so what we want to do is have my character model go here, right? There we go. Yeah. Oh my god, it's possible. It's happening! So what we have is Mr. Amygdala Head being a little bit too close and touchy-feely. With some clipping, classic FromSoft. You got these guys just hanging about on the side. Anything? That's just a fire effect. Very obvious spine. Mm-hmm. Let's do it from this angle so we don't get the dragons in the shop, potentially. Yeah, we want to wait until that effect goes down. Yeah, like that, when it fades briefly. Yeah, like that. So from this angle, I think it's good. They seem to be bending backwards. Yeah, that does seem to give that impression, doesn't it? Almost as if their body's the wrong way. But this looks like this looks like the spine. And again, it's hard to tell with the head because it's such a sort of a non-distinct mass. The tails and stuff definitely kind of evokes both what we see with the angels and, of course, the dendrification. Also, I just noticed this thing is just hanging on top of the barracks. So, like, this is where the pus of man, right, with the different we see the different dendrified tree men with all the people worshiping, and one of them becomes the pus. Like, this thing is just floating where that thing is supposed to be, or was. I find that funny. Kind of curious. How far is this thing? Oh, and this one's like by Osiros's tower. Yeah. This air. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact texture model they use when you're in the actual area. I don't think they ever made a high-res version of this, because it's always just seen in the background. It looks so obviously low-res, though, when you're, like, here. It's like, oh, look at that really low-res tower. And I think this is, like, the back of Osiros's boss room or something. Oh. Well, that's awkward. Just from soft things. This is the prince's, oh. Oh. I was about to say, this is the path to the prince's tower. Well, I don't know what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really can't tell from down here, huh? Uh-huh. Well, that looks wrong. Alright. Let's get the actual shot. Alright, so that's the moment we want to go for when the thing's not clipping through the sword. So, this is the angle. Come on. Oh no. There we go. Try it one more time when it's getting up there. Okay. Oh. It just disappears. Uh-huh. Well, that's awkward. Also, look at all these mountains that come from nowhere. And then you got the forest back here. And then you have Firelink Shrine over here. Controller's working smoothly, by the way. I'm really impressed. No real issues on that front. Yeah, so this thing's all the way even past the Prince's Tower. That is so insane. The Prince's little bridge thing. Something like this. Get the fog wall out of the way. Yeah, something like that. The fire effect's not fading, so... Gotta get a good thing. No. Yeah, I think those shots should be enough. Hmm. Hmm. I guess we'll have to live with the fog wall for this shot. Can you turn off particles? I probably can, but I gotta figure that out. I think their chest points backwards and their head is upside down. Interesting idea. Yeah, I think that could be a possibility. They have something that looks like a belly button. Do they, Pokemon? Let's see. Not on this side, but this might be their back, right? So... if they had a belly button, it would be around here, right? I don't see anything. It all just looks screwy. Be cool to see concept art of like this full enemy, like not like in like other images of landscape or something, just the enemy by itself. I'd love to see what the artist concept art for this was. Mm-hmm. Ooh. This could work. Just gotta find the right... gotta find that sweet angle. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Ah, come on. I keep on missing the... there we go. Perfect. I like that. So then we have the three shots. We have the one with this, the one over from this angle, and then the one down here for a gallery shot. So that way I can give people a really good look at how this scene plays out when they rise. Rise, if you would. That is our curse. Again, we can get shots of stuff like this library. Like I can just do a bird's eye view of this library shot, though I don't think that's gonna look very good specifically. But like something like this, be like, hey, I've never been able to get shots like this. I can do something like, yeah, like this. Yeah, I like this. Oh no. Hmm. Nope. Okay, let's warp to the. Let's warp proper. All right, I don't have a door. Did I watch the 2 videos you mentioned the other day? Oh God, I can't remember if I did because I watched a lot of stuff the other day. Xavier, can you remind me what the exact videos were? It'll probably come to me if you mention it. Yeah, it's just that I've been seeing a lot of stuff lately while I've been working on different things. So let's go this way. Oh, sorry, dog. Scared him. He's trying to take a nap. Do you want to redo the shots with Arena still in the prison? Oh, that's right. We could redo that now that I have the camera. Yeah, but I'll start a new file for that because I don't want to. I don't want to have to figure out how I can reset her or spawn her in or anything like that. We can just like do a new file at some point. Today I want to focus on what we can do on this file. So let's go back to the high wall. Vort will work. Oh, the latest last protagonist and Tarnished Archaeologist video. Okay, no, those I definitely know I didn't see, not yet. Tarnished Archaeologist is the one he's done on Lawrence, right? I've definitely seen that video is out, but I haven't seen it, and I don't know what last protagonist has come out with. No. Sorry, I'm not thinking of. Tarnished Archaeologist is doing something different for Elden Ring, right? That's not related to what I'm thinking about with Lawrence. That's what's his name? The name is. Why am I so bad with names? It's slipping my mind. Okay, no. So I have. It's not Lawrence. It's it's one of the new Elden Ring vids then from both of them, right? Okay. I haven't seen any Elden Ring content lately, so I definitely need to get to that. This is the problem when you have an incomplete playthrough of Elden Ring and don't even know if you're going to be covering it on your website. You're like, I'm behind on all the Elden Ring discourse. No, his was Omen related. Okay. That'd be interesting to get a shot at. I know I was helping Smotown with his Omen video, so I'm actually kind of curious how much overlap there is there. Anyway, let's move this here and get the camera started. Oh. Yeah, now we can do... That's why we don't want to do this, though. Because this destroys so many things. Yeah, because they're not... It's like, oh, you're not supposed to see this. Okay. Okay. Let's move the camera. Let's move the person here, see if that affects anything. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's just do this manually, I guess, because I'm an idiot. Hey, buddy. Alright, Dancer can be killed again. Just kill Dancer, Smile. Oh, hey, Night Scout. Did YouTube do an update today? My name shows up next to the typing box now. I have no idea. I don't follow what YouTube does. YouTube is not my expertise. Cannot confirm or deny. I wouldn't be surprised, though, because I imagine there might be lots of problems with links and stuff. Yeah, now more stuff is loading in when we do it from here, so we can do this at least. What the hell is this? What in the ever-living hell is this shit? Also, by the way, guys, I took shots of this when I was first testing this. It's cool to see, like, low-res High Priestess statues. Like, you can see the same hand, well, similar hand gesture being done here. The other hand is sort of off to the side because they don't know what to do with it yet. And obviously, it's super, super low detail. But it's kind of cool how they like, you're getting, like, an insight of what this was probably, like, the earliest draft of the High Priestess statue we see. With much more fidelity here. Very cool. Anyway, gonna have to find a way to work that into my Lothric analysis here, but that'll be in the future. Right now, the focus is this stuff. Gotta avoid that. And that. FromSoft, why you do this to me? The worst part is none of this stuff exists from this angle. It only exists from... Look at this with the rock in the way. It only exists for here. It doesn't make sense because it's so obviously low res. Dark Souls 3. I love you to death, but... God damn. Like this, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could work. If we had... Okay. We're moving the character model here. Come on. There we go. Nope, you still don't load in. Oh, okay. I think I know what to do. Yeah. This is the way. Right? Yeah, because this all loads in, but it also has to load in everything else. Again, what the hell is this? I don't think it's that important, but I noticed that Estelle's jaws function like a trap jaw ants, which is weird because most people say that his skin are based on ant lions and they eat trap jaw ants. I'm not too familiar with the Estelle lore, so... Or my insectology. Is that the word? Speaking of statues, there was one in your lore play that you couldn't focus on but wanted to see. I can't remember where though. Maybe Ariandel? I couldn't focus on but I wanted to see. Oh, yes! I remember. It was Ariandel. It was atop the chapel. I did check that, too, when I was testing things. That's not I confirmed it's not a statue. I think it's, like, a copy-paste asset that's used in, like, Irithel or something. Like, for, like, generic, you know, like, Gothic architecture crap. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Because it's like, oh, that's a statue. That'd be kind of cool if we could confirm what that is. But, like, no, it's not. There's nothing to confirm. Is this part of the building? Yes it is. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright, so. And that looks like this is all intentional, right? Okay. Coolio. Yeah, like this, right? Perfect. So what items do we want to get rid of? Well, what items should we be getting rid of for this? shot like this. So then... we want to get rid of this guy, because he's being a pain in my ass, just kind of stuck doing whatever the hell this is. Oh no, he figured himself out. He realized he's being a dum-dum. Okay, so we just want to get this item here. And... yeah, I think that's it. I guess we can get these, kill these enemies too, because they're not going to be seen in the shot. We'll turn off free cam for the time being. Thanks for the firebombs. Oh. I forgot! Oh. You're still alive? Why does the other one only take... why does the other one take 2? And this takes 3. Or did it miss a shot somehow? You know, it probably did with those things hitbox. Anything is possible. Yeah, Soul of a Proud Paladin, because we're on New Game Plus. I do find it funny that they didn't know what to do with some of those souls, so they were like, oh, we'll just replace other souls with them in New Game Plus. It won't make any sense lore-wise, but... they're stronger souls. Woo. Ow. Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure. Gosh, I forgot how many fire bombs are in this area. Picked up 3 more from a body. Don't make me free cam teleport over to you, corpse. The new controller's working beautifully, though, honestly. There we go. Just... flesh bite ring, +1. Woo! Alright. Back to what we were doing. Alright. I read your item Shulva today. It was very nice. Well, thank you. Speaking of statue, yeah, I got that. Regarding Shulva's failed dragons who are mouths with legs, do you think the goo covering their body could be like the abyssal goo seen in Ulasil? It's derived from the dark, so again, I don't know if it's necessarily the exact same substance, but like, I assume it's something akin to it, right? It's, again, it all originates in Dark Souls, so I imagine something similar. He has multiple kinds, like the Falling Star Beast and the Hanging Astel, that people equal to the life cycle of an antlion. I see. Well, it does look very insectoid, so I wouldn't be surprised, but from what you're trying to tell me, it sounds like the jaws, at least, aren't quite like an antlion's. See, I'm not too familiar with a bunch of different bug species and stuff, so this is a little outside my purview. Oh, I could get better shots at this stuff for, hey... yeah, this is so weird. I'm gonna have to go through all my Dark Souls 3 analysis and think, could I do this shot better or differently if I had free cam? And the answer is probably gonna be 9 times out of 10, yes. I would totally have done this shot differently if I had free cam. There we go. Now, what was it we wanted? We wanted the shot, like, here. Right. God, my memories. I think this was the building shot that we had before, so I'm not even gonna care that the bodies and stuff at the bottom floor aren't there, because the focus is on the most of the whole building, so it's like, okay, whatever. Let's look at it from this angle. Anything we really want to get? Not really? I don't really like this. Yeah, and then there's the character model, but like... maybe from here. just gonna magically disappear some shingles on me. I guess from here? Possibly? Question mark? Yeah, I guess this would be the shot, right? I don't know. Maybe here instead. Yeah. If I reset the area, I would maybe do that. And let's see, what else do we have on the list? Because these are all stuff that isn't on the list. This is just me doing whatever. The Shack Oh, we have to go to Archdragon Peak. That's what we have to do. Let's do that. Let's get that out of the way. Actually, no. Wasn't there a boss? No, we got the Dragon Slayer armor boss shot, so that's good. And the only bosses are Vort and Dancer. I'm actually curious if it'll start the Dancer cutscene again if I go... Because I didn't kill Vort a second time, right? But all this is already pre-open, so... I'm actually curious how any of this works. Whatever. There we go. You guys are having a chat about the antlions, huh? Yeah, like I don't have a dog in that fight yet because again, haven't finished the game, don't have a final opinion. To be honest though, it's one of those things where I don't really, again, I always talk about external sources as sort of secondary things. It helps when you're trying to frame or try to get to help kind of shape an understanding of a concept, but it's something that should be demonstrable within the actual game setting itself. It's very clear that the Estelles have a life cycle that kind of seem to grow and develop and change and multiply in some fashion, considering how many we see in different different, like, I don't know, extents, different stages of development. So I think that much we know is, like, we can all agree is the underlying point. Anything from Undead Settlement? Like I said, I have to go through all this stuff manually and figure it out. Wait. Why do I have 2 high walls of Lothrix? Oh. Oh, I know what this is. Because this one's for inside the room, right? Or maybe it's the other one. I don't know. This is confusing. I think one of them has to be the high wall for the room. Because you first spawn there, right? So... Cathedral of the Deep. Oh, there's a shot in Cathedral of the Deep I could really want to take. So let's go to Cleansing Chapel. There's so much potential right now. Yeah, so let's let's get the free cam here. Oh. Okay. There we go. I was about to be like, wait, it deloads everything while you're in the chapel? Oh no. Because originally I took the shot like here. So let's move our character about here. Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah, just kill me. Sure. Just freaking kill me. Thanks, game. Here, happy? Someplace that's less deft? Wait. Why? Why does this all kill me? What did I do to deserve this? Okay. Why am I all the way over here? Okay. I have to be getting, like, something wrong in terms of where I'm supposed to be. Because this, yeah, this really shouldn't be. That off. Okay, this has to be safe, right? There we go. So this is safe. There's our buddy. Yeah, I can get shots like this, no problem. Oh my god, but without that frame rate, please. Please, for my own sanity. Alright, so we're gonna drop our character right here. There we go. I don't know what I did this time, but whatever. Yeah, you didn't see anything. You don't see anything. Right, because we can do stuff like this now. And look at the deep pool. Woo! God, it ain't easy. That's awkward. Okay, at least there's lots of trees here, so you can make a case that you aren't supposed to be able to see the other side. You can make that case. Trying to despawn the enemies. At least with their, with how they see and stuff. Something like this, maybe? Not really happy with that composition, though. There's our favorite wall. Woo! Help! I've been trapped in the deep! Oh no! The deep is actually kinda shallow! There we go. Something like that. Alright. Shulva question: What is the possible what the possible abyssal goo of the experiment source from Ilana in the water and near to Sin / any water source to reach him? Do you think Sin even got slight abyss corruption? No. We don't have any. There's nothing really in his like resistances or anything really to kind of give you an indication of abyssal corruption. No. Like, fun fact, the bigger version of ants made for specific purposes are called super majors in Elden Ring. It would be like the shield head ants, which is head based on real ants. Oh, really? I don't think we've seen shield head ants. Have we? In my playthrough? It seems familiar to me, though. Maybe I have. Maybe in, like, the Godwin area? Why is Elden Ring lore so confusing? I cannot speak to that. I haven't finished the game. This isn't lore, just inspiration they used. I'm looking forward to Smo Town's Morgoth video. Yeah, I'm excited too. I wonder how much of how much of the stuff I told him is gonna make it into there. A lot of my stuff ended up in his Omen video. I was actually rather surprised. Darcy, it's the deep. You should have, I think. Yeah, I feel it sounds familiar, but I don't remember if I've actually. Again, it's been so long since I've done my. So I've done like one Elden Ring episode in the past like month or something. It's been so much Dark Souls 2. I've been so knee deep in Dark Souls 2, and God, I'm so glad to be finally done. I'm on a cooldown. I'm taking a break from Dark Souls 2. I gave all 2 Dark Souls 2 fans a month's worth of content to chew on. Loki is tapped out. There we go. I swear I keep missing this stupid screenshot button. Hello. Yeah, this is just us. Hey, look at that. It's a. Yeah, we already got what we wanted there. Now, what about here? Trying to see if we can get a better shot with all this, because we have the chapel here with the overhang. We have the wall here, like this. I don't know if this is a better shot, because let's see, what have I been doing before to get these? I would be like up here somewhere, and then I'd be like, boom, use the camera, and then I would do something like this. So I think what we can do here is like get those shots, but like over here. There we go. Something like this instead. Coolio. Anything else we want? Here's this. Yeah, this is more so a lighting thing. I just don't like how the light interacts with the darkness from this angle. And I don't think I can get something better from this angle, can I? Yeah, not really. The better angle would be here. Obviously, with the walls actually here. Oh, that's right, though. I can get a shot from up here, though, so that could... Yeah, no, this is still the dark side of the statues that I don't want. Okay. So, let's kill all the enemies here and try to get that shot. Thank you. With how Alana seems to have worked with the Shulva Shrine Maidens with the Dark, do you think the song was meant to keep Sin asleep like a spell? ALA Falcon and Grandel's comments. Yeah, I think I made that clear in the thesis. Yeah, the idea seems to be, I guess what you're asking specifically is like Alana's song when we fight her as a boss. I think it's there to appease him, yes, and maybe help with him getting back to sleep or something like that. I'm not sure if it's something where it's like, I'm not sure if it's like, say, the standard song they would use while they were asleep, of course, but I think probably something like it was used when they were like, hey, we're giving our prayers. In Alana's case, she's probably like praying, hey, dragon, I'm so sorry all this happened to you. Don't worry, I'll get vengeance on those who've wronged us all. You just try to have some peace of mind here by listening to my aria. I think it's probably something to that effect. Go on, move. Move, Corpsey. Thank you. Get down there. Out of... Now let's get the other people. Hello, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Oh, you're not dead. Now you're dead. We solved that problem real quick. If I recall correctly, the thesis mentioned a practice of singing earlier than the part where Alana would sing in Gone to Shulva. Yeah, the only thing... Yeah, at the end I do mention the idea of her, like, singing perhaps to comfort him, but that's as far as I would take it. I'm not sure if it's necessarily to make him... If it's, like, say, the exact same thing that he's used when he, when they're, like, sending the prayers. I imagine it's just something to that effect. Like, hey, here's my wishes. I hope you can be appeased for a little bit. Alright, so that's all settled, right? And now... Alright, so if we're getting a shot from here, we don't need to... A song on its own seems like it'd risk awakening Sim, but with that coma-like element of the dark, it would explain why the song would work. Possibly, but it's very likely that Alana probably comes later than the actual practices of Shulva and stuff, so I'm not convinced that the... Oh, now this stuff is in the way. Of course. This is why we can't have nice things. This is doable, though. This is workable. Okay, so... We have Hugh... Something like this, maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah. I learned all this from Ants Canada, which is a channel I haven't watched in a while. Why is there a channel dedicated just to ants in Canada? Also, if I recall correctly, Sin takes extra damage if players hit him with your spear / the wound, so the spear couldn't be bothering him enough to stay away and limiting his flight time. Yeah, I haven't confirmed that, so I'd have to double check. If so, I'll definitely add it to the analysis. I'll have to double check to see if that claim is true. I couldn't find anything though when I was doing a cursory glance, but it's possible that wikis just aren't aware of it. And lol, wikis, trusting wikis with anything. Yeah, I think this will do. Yeah, I like that. Again, little fog. Little fog is a bit of a problem, but... Actually, is this one of these areas where I wouldn't mind... This might be one of those areas where I wouldn't mind a little, wouldn't mind having this like this. Huh. But comparison... Oh. No, that's not what we want. Maybe. Whatever. Okay. That's enough getting random shots of Cathedral of the Deep. Anything else we want? Katha statues? No. The church here? No. Oh, wait a second. Wasn't there a time where I wanted to get a shot with this staircase, but I couldn't? Because of shit? I think there was. Let's fix that. Moving. There we go. Yeah, I remember. Loki Farms remembers. What the hell is this? Oh no, that's just a cliff. I was about to be like, is that a weird tree growth? Like, what? That's mountains. That's far on, no one cares. Yeah, something like this, right? Because I couldn't get shots like that with this. Hmm. I like this angle much better. Yeah, these are much fuller and more detailed. Gotta be careful, because that's just a shadow. Okay, good. Uh, Me and my attempts to try to keep things looking natural still. Something like this, right? Like, yeah, I could never have gotten a shot like that before. Mm-hmm. This shot would kind of be hard to get because of enemies and stuff, right? Yeah, it's all normal. He still moves with the dignity the interview mentioned, but he's got elements. It's just the paint does something, even if he's a stony dragon. Yeah. Again, again, as I acknowledge, like again, like as Miyazaki says in Design Works 1, the arch dragons don't feel pain as we understand it, right? But like again, it's clearly doing something to him, right? That I think we is for sure, but to what extent is like a different question. There's supposed to be that idea that obviously he's still quote unquote, like he has a dignity, he's majestic, right? He still moves with a certain fluidity. So the spear doesn't seem to be doing things to the same extent that the poison clearly does. But again, I'll have to look into the claim that your spear does more damage to him or whatever. Anything we want to have here? No. God, I really do need to look at my existing shots or anything I'm missing that I could add to my shots, but that's a lot of reading my own content. Flying buttresses in Orlando. We got slave room with chest clothes. Oh, that's for Irithel and stuff. Let's go to Irithel. I think today's an Irithel day. There we go. Today, let's go to Irithel. As another Sholva question, do you think the practice of building civilization on a person's suffering is similar to the Lord of Cinder idea in Filianor and the Ring City? I don't know if consciously it's the same idea, but there is a similar through line. But I think that's more to do with the fact that this is a dark fantasy, and so like there's just gonna be a lot of screwed up shit when it comes to the rise and falls of kingdoms. I don't think there's any case where people are like stealing the legacy of one civilization to rebuild another, like in the case of the Ring City, right? It's more so Anor Londo literally serves the pygmies their kingdom on a silver platter in order to kind of accelerate their societal development so they can be ready to help them fight the dragons in the forthcoming hunts as they're planned, right? And sort of build up that human medial relation in advance. So I don't think it's quite the same thing. I think it's more so just a case of, yeah, these civilizations, they get all built up in like one generation. And it's like they fall just as quickly. And then people like people just sort of build on the ashes. Anything in the dungeon? Nothing that comes to mind. Anything from this angle? Not really. Not really. This is where we need to get the slave room, though. Dark fantasy? I thought these were meant to be bedtime stories. You're right, John. How could I make such a glaring mistake? I forget. These are supposed to be your lullabies to your children. Just tell your 6-year-old about what happens to... Just tell your 6-year-old about what happens to Rosaria every single night. That'll be a good way to educate them. Hi, little Timmy. Today we're gonna tell you all about Aldrich. Oh, there you are. I was like, you weren't there. Alright, so... Yeah. Can you, like, get over here? Thank you. Love you. Stop destroying things! Alright, what was the original shot I had? I actually kind of want to see what I got to see if I want to use the free cam for this. I mean, my answer seems to always be, yes, I want to use the free cam, but, you know, you gotta be sure. Let's see, Yorshka Spear. No, Spear of Yorshka? Yorshka's Spear? Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's actually not with there. It's not there either. It's not there. Dark room? Slay. Oh god, an entire... That's a lot of slaves. That's a lot of slaves. Okay, there we go. This is the room. Yeah. I could live with... Oh. I am so sorry, dog. I dropped my keyboard. Oh my... It's okay, doggo. Ay. Let's fix that real quick, chat. Oh, there goes some battery. That's kind of important. One second, chat. Testing. We still there? Hello? Yep, we're still there. Loki in real life moment. Yes, that was a Loki in real life moment. I made my keyboard fall to its death. Don't worry though, it respawned just as quickly. Wait, actually, I should probably test that. I shouldn't just take my word for it. Yeah, okay, keyboard's still functional. No problems. Okay, because the original shot I think I got was something like this. God, this is so weird between PS5. Yeah, I think it was something like this was the original shot. But the chest was open in the back, so it was kind of like, ew. What can free cam get us? There we go. Free cam can get us this angle. Oh, I think I like... Yeah, if we get this like this... Yeah, I think we can make this work. Something like this. Yeah, I like that. That could be the shot. Mm-hmm. And then we have the... I already have the shot here with the chest. I can do it without the light. I used my light, though, to try to get something out of it, but we can just do it like this now. Hmm. I guess. Like that. There we go. Again, free cam. What a miracle. Gwendolyn's Manor. Priscilla's Tower. Irithyll Cathedral. Yeah. Shots of... We want the backside of Gwendolyn's Manor now, so I have to go all the way to the riverside. This... That's all doable if we go to Anor Londo, so... Yeah, let's do this. Alright, don't kill me, game. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wait. Huh? Game? Oh. Oh. I see. For Sin's name and the idea that dragons named him, do you think they were intentionally naming after Sin? No, I think it's just the common Japanese thing where you use English words because they're foreign and they sound cool, and you can be able to use a lot of meaning where most Japanese people aren't gonna understand it. That's honestly, I don't think it's that deep. It's like, why is Seath called Sheath? Because that's technically what his name is. It's Shisu, which is... You can translate as Seath, but there is no, like, distinct difference between the she and the C sounds in Japanese, so they use she. Anyway, my point is that Seath's name is obviously taken from Sheath, because back in Kingsfield, where Seath's name was first originated, the idea was that he was the holder, the sheath, of the Moonlight Greatsword. So it's like, oh. Like, I don't think there's any, like, super deep meaning to, oh my god, why is the character named this? It's like... Why is Aldrich called Eldritch? Did they name him knowing he would become an Eldritch abomination? Why is Solaire called Solar? Did they name him knowing he was going to become an obsessive sun worshipper? Like, it's just the name. It's just the name stuff. I would not look too deep into it. Is it possible that he was born with a curse or stigma, a.la. the Calamite stuff? I don't go with a curse or stigma type of thing when talking about Calamite and Abyssal Archive, so I would say I would extend the same to Sin. Again, I just think it's a matter of, much like Seath, etc. Sometimes disparity just has you born a certain way, and it can be of a specific magical affinity or nature. Well, being named Seath or Sheath is a bit different from on the nose name as Sin. Again, it depends on what you define as on the nose there, Night Scout. I would argue that Sheath is very on the nose for even in the context of Dark Souls, where you get the Moonlight Greatsword and stuff from him. So again, I think it's just a matter of perspective. Yeah, because normally we would be like, ah, look, there's the cathedral. I guess. Also, Cease's name might be ironic since he's named after a covering, but utterly lacks covering scales. I can't tell if you're being serious, Night Scout. He's a character from Kingsfield, and if we're arguing in the context of Dark Souls, like, what's the argument? The dragons knew what a sheath was, even though they probably don't even know what swords were when he was born? Like, come on. We can argue what exactly dragons create, what dragon language and naming and all that stuff is, but I don't think it's that complicated. What are the shots I have of the cathedral that I already am using? Like, what do I got here? Oh, so I have to add to that the lamp stuff, because there's stuff I want to do there. We already have a shot of that. I don't mind. Oh, okay. Okay, so I have a shot of this, but it's like overlooking the whole cathedral thing. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Cathedral, like that. Oh my. I can't use Shift Tab without first going into my thing, and it's kind of annoying. There we go. Okay, so originally I had something like this. Sullivan was dead, of course, so that boss fog wasn't there. I guess we'll kill Sully again. But that's what I got originally, something like this. I'm actually okay with that shot. Yeah, I don't have any, like, major issues with it. We got this side thing. I mean, the only thing I would want is to maybe get another shot from this angle. God, Archdragon Peak looks so close from this angle. It's kind of ridiculous. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And then, down here. This is what I want to take, right? Yeah, okay. So, let's drop our boy down here. Oh. I thought there was an enemy back here. Yeah, I thought there were a bunch of enemies back here. Also, pillage remains, sure. Chloranthy ring plus... Wait. What remains did I pillage from? Whose remains was I pillaging for that ring? I am so confused. Whatever. Let's see if this, Oh, no. So this is the best angle for you. Is there any that were placed that way facing the light? No. Not here. No, that one's facing that way. Oh no, this is... That was so close. No cigar. It's not here. It's not here. There we go. There we go. Want to get that shot out of the way. Like I said, Gwendolyn's Manor, Irithyll Cathedral, we'll cross that off. Altar, Cliff, White Shot. Okay, all of these are Lightning Blade Corpse. Lightning Blade Corpse. Oh, an Irithyll Dungeon, that's right. Because I can get the same shot that I got last time without the character model, right. Good on you, past Loki. You remembered that. Anything? Ooh, can we get a better shot here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look, this stuff. This stuff looks so much better. So much more clear under the white light. Like, not that. Not that. Yes. Yes. Okay, come on. Yeah, I like that one best. Yeah. Yeah. This looks best. Oh. The things I do for this stupid website. I swear. There we go. Just to be safe. God, controller sensitivity. There we go. Bunch of different distances depending on how I want to edit the final product. Let's go back to... did you ever explain why we can't swim in Dark Souls? In Abyssal Archive, I do go over that about a possible theory as to why. What happens with Rosaria? The R word, John. The R word. Repeatedly. Well, yeah, he's from Kingsfield too, but the DSC does have something interesting there. Dragons probably didn't have special names for the stuff Gwyn and company used to kill them, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think any of the names are very meaningful, right? Because it leads you down a rabbit hole trying to look at it. When the simpler answer is just the fact that it's Japan. They love doing that type of shit with English. You just kind of accept it as a Westerner and move on. Though come to think of it, unless Seath told the Lord Dragon's names after he turned traitor, how would the Lords know dragon names? Could Seath and such be Lordring given names? Calameet's name, probably. It sort of depends, right? Because we don't know. I mean, Seath's able to communicate with the Lords well enough. We don't know if he can speak their language, of course, but at the very least, he seems to be able to, reason and deal with them on like a normal quote unquote basis. So it seems to be that if Calameet, for example, became well known, we can assume that his name was something like, say, Seath would know, or the gods would be able to know from like the battlefield or something like that. Like, again, who knows? We don't know if someone says, "Oh, hey, the dragons call him Calameet" or something like that. Though come to think of it, unless he told would be Lordring given names. I'm trying to think of another example. Sin's name is never said aloud by any character or anything, so you can always argue on whether or not anyone knows Sin's name. Same thing with Hellkite, right? Like, the only time Hellkite's referenced, he's just referred to as that giant wyvern by the undead merchant, so... again, there's a lot of cases where, I mean, technically, most bosses or enemies we face, we don't necessarily know their name, right? Like Mytha or something like that. Again, one of the cool things when you think about how there's a disconnect between the lore presented to us, the player, and the lore presented to the player character. Yeah, we got that done. We got that done. This I know I got a shot of, but we can do much better now. Oh, yeah, something like that. With how Shulvin's found Sin, is it possible they named him, and due to his coma, they never learned the real dragon name? Yeah, that is possible. That is a possibility. You could always interpret it as, oh, Sin is the name we called him, and it's not actually, like, say his name from Dragons. Yeah, that's a possible interpretation. Again, I don't think it's likely, because again, we have tons of other cases of dragons being named here. There's no mention of them naming him or anything like that. And there's no specific reason they need to name him, right? He's just like, they could just call him the Divine Dragon or the Dragon or anything in their culture. So, like, I would not lean on that, considering we know so much about dragons who are named from Dark Souls 1, etc. And obviously, Dark Souls 2 goes out of its way to name Sin after not naming, say, the Ancient Dragon or things of that nature. Which, obviously, the Ancient Dragon doesn't have a name, because the only name it would have would be as a giant, and obviously Aldia ain't caring about whatever that name is, so that's not a problem. But yeah, that's a possible way to look at it. I refer to Hellkite as that big piece of garbage. Fair enough, John. I agree with you. Whereas Midir was probably named by the gods of Anor Londo, especially if they hatched him. I think that's actually confirmed. I have to double check, but I think that's actually... I think it's stated that they gave him his name, but I have to double check. I may be misremembering, but yes, I would agree. In either case, even if it's not stated explicitly, I would say that yes, considering that the gods raised Midir, it's very likely that Midir was the name given to him by the gods. Or at least Seath, which, I mean, technically Seath would be a dragon, so why not? Technically it would be dragons naming him. I suppose that's one way. It's always going to be dragons. My dog is very unamused after I woke him up while he was enjoying his slumber. I'm sorry, doggy. I know. You have every right to be a little annoyed at me. You were all sleeping so comfortably, and then I woke you up with a drop of a keyboard, and now you're awake. Be honest, I would be a lot angrier than you are. You start the thesis mentioning that the Hyde survivors who founded Shulva were probably miracle adherents of Lordran's gods. No, not necessarily. What I'm saying is that they are Haydens because they were They are miracle adherents of Lordran's gods, which is true for Haida. So, what kind of dog? Golden Retriever, John. Because I love me. Well, technically, it's like an almond retriever. You know, it's a specific, like, I don't know what you call it, subbreed or something, right? Because it has red fur instead of golden fur. But yeah, he's a golden. Thus, if the Haydens thought Sin's suffering was him paying for being at odds with the gods, perhaps that helped justify the early dragon coexistence that slowly became the praise. If the Haydens thought Sin's suffering was him paying for being at the odds with the gods, perhaps helping. I guess, but you'd have to give the justification for why they think that, because there's very clearly gratitude and praise being heaped on Sin for being a sort of a recipient, like, you know, a substitute for the land as far as the poison is concerned. It does seem pretty clear that they understood that fact. I don't know if they would go so far as saying, oh yeah, it's because the gods it's because the gods fought the dragons, and therefore all this is like you deserve to take the poison on. I don't know if I would go that far. It's also a bit weird because with how because of how like already we see with the Haida civilization, by its destruction, a lot of things get morphed and twisted. So I don't even know how much of the dragon hunts are properly known to the Haidans. So like that's another questionable thing. But like I said, I think it's more likely Sin is probably just the name by the dragons, not something given by the Sholvans. Well, if they adhere to miracles and stuff, they're probably from Haida, and being from Haida is shown by good. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. I'm just kind of clarifying your point because the way you worded it is kind of a little odd. Because my point isn't that my point is that the Haidans are probably miracle worshippers. I think that's pretty established in the Haidan thesis I make. What the point being made in the Shulva, and which is what I think you mean, even if it wasn't worded that way, is that the Shulvans I connect to the Haidans because they are heavily miracle and god worshipping based, right? So all of that seems to connect them to the only culture that we know could be connected to the underground, and that is Haida, which again has the perfect segue in Haida's destruction. You're gonna have tons of Haidans who are stuck underground, like we see in Grave of Saints, etc. Or they're basically gonna have to they're either gonna die down there or they're gonna have to try to eke out an existence somehow. And obviously, we have the answer with the Shulvans as their tribe, under who becomes the Sunken King, going all the way down to the cavern, where, of course, they find Sin in the land. Basically, Sin was paying for his sins by being a dragon that the gods dislike, thus being ungrateful for his circumstances can loop back to a justification of being faithful to Gwyn. I suppose. As opposed to now getting semi-nameless king and whatever beliefs that they may have had. Yeah, so again, I see the logic, I don't know if I totally would connect the dots there with how the history with Dark Souls 2 is going. Again, I think the simpler explanation is that Sin is simply the name of the dragon, because dragons have names, as we established with Seath and Calamite, etc. And that, again, the name is never stated aloud, no one says it, it's never brought up in any way. We just know that the dragon is named Sin, which, again, I think connects to the idea of, hey, it's a dragon from that period when, the dragons actually had a purpose to naming each other. Because there was, like, a bunch of them, and not, like, I don't know, 5? 5 in the whole world? Also, I should really ask this now. How long do you think Shulva existed for? Did they have one king, and did he live for hundreds of years, or just, like, 40? We don't know, obviously, how old the Sunken King is, but yes, it is clear that the Sunken King is the same Sunken King who, at the beginning of Shulva's existence to the end of Shulva's existence, it's all the one person. So, yeah, Shulva's a country that existed for, like, 100 years max. Same thing with, like, Ivory King and Ilium Lois. Same deal. We don't know if this is true for most of the countries in Drang Lake's history or whatever, but it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we're going to build up this giant advanced civilization. Oh, that took like hundreds of years and tons of cultural development. Now it took us like 50. Yeah, so how old was he? I don't know. Was he like 20 when this all started, and then he like died when he was like 80, maybe? Who knows? Maybe it was 60 years, maybe it was 40 years, like you said. We just don't know. Because again, a lot of the world building in Dark Souls 2 obviously gets hand waved in order to have these fantastical things that the Dark Souls 2 director / writer wanted. Again, as I go over in the thesis, he clearly had a different idea for the DLC pre-release compared to what we ultimately got. Because he had the idea of, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, instead of it going with the general trend where, everything's dirty and filthy and awful and poisonous and mucky and all that, what if it's like the complete opposite? And obviously that's where they fit in Sin and all that. Ivory King is cool. Is he a horrible person like all the other FromSoft characters? No, actually. As far as we can tell, he is purely heroic, and his story is just tragic because he ends up sacrificing himself to become a pawn of chaos, basically, right? He becomes like he basically becomes its slave. We do have quote-unquote dialogue from him, but unfortunately it's indecipherable, so we have no idea if there's any lore significance to what he's saying. It sounds like it might be jumbled gibberish, or it's too muffled to make out whatever specific words he's going for. As far as I'm aware, we don't have dialogue in, like, Archive of the Fire doesn't record any dialogue like we do with Nidalia, so we unfortunately may never know what what Ivory King is saying. I do think there's like YouTube channels online though that, if I recall correctly, have tried to sound it out, but obviously I've seen what they do in Idalia's dialogue, so that's very unreliable. Well, that's cool. Yeah. The whole point of the Ilium Lois and Sunken King is, Ivory King, is that he's a great heroic warrior defending against chaos. He gets a cool wife who's, happens to be a child of dark. He's not bothered by that, even though he seems to either figure it out, or he always knew, or who knows. I have to go through the analysis and like nail down the details. And then but he's willing to sacrifice himself to protect his homeland, and yada yada yada. Someone has a video about it on YouTube. Yeah, I think Ivory King's battle dial is literally just excerpts from a song with no clear audio. That's cool. I have to see that video then specifically, because I know there's videos floating around, but I don't recall if I've seen any that involves a song. If so, that's nice confirmation we got there, and would explain why it's not recorded in the archive. Okay, let's see. What are the other shots I need to get? Gwendolyn's thing, so let's go. Woo! 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 Okay, yeah, so... there we go. What? What is this? Is there really no back to Gwendolyn's Manor? Is this literally the whole thing? Is that what I've come to discover? Because you can't ever actually get an angle where you see it. Also, what the hell happened here? Oh, that's the ice. That's the ice effect. Oh, that's funny. Ain't that cute? I guess that explains why there's windows there, but I've never noticed windows on the exterior, because you never see the exterior. Also, I'm just saying, some people in Irithyll have... These are nobles, but they have terrible real estate. Just pointing that out. Oh. Let's move you here. Oh, whoopsie. Wait. Wait. This isn't how that's supposed to go. Oh. I swear. Do we actually go into Gwendolyn's Manor? Yes, we do. It's the place with the Silver Knights when we're trying to, when we go through the sewers up and we find, like, Siegward inside the kitchen area and stuff. That's Gwendolyn's Manor that we're going in. So this is Sully's Manor. This is the manor Sully got when he first came to Irithyll. Now it's abandoned and stuff because, well, as you can see, they're now using the backyard as a dungeon because that's where he was setting up the sewer system to reroute the shit that was flowing, as we talked about a few streams before, about all the shit that goes through. Gotta turn my character around. There we go. Camera! All the shit that basically flows through here under the flying buttresses. It's all the sewage outlets, so like, okay, yeah, so there, you see the sewer there? There's the sewer, right? And it's doing all the sewery things, right? And we see the sewage outlet about here. There it is, see? Right here. That's the exact exit. And then all the shit is coming out this way. So you can only imagine the smell that Sullivan / Gwendolyn before him had to go against all the time. So Sully, being a new young whippersnapper sorcerer looking to impress the god of the sorcery god of this city, and got in his good graces, and the fact that he got his own little mansion, even though it's obviously, on the level of the river and stuff, so it's not like the best real estate compared to the rest of the city. So the idea is like, hey, Gwendolyn has some respect for you, bud. So you get to live in your own mansion, slightly below them, but it's cool. It's cool. You may not have god blood in you, but it works. And then blah blah blah. That's when he starts. That's when we get into Irithyll Dungeon and seeing how Irithyll Dungeon is built upon the basis of a sewer system, which Sully was working on until he found the Profane Capital, and then that's where Gilligan comes in, and Gilligan helps Sully set up shop so he can study the Profane Capital and the Profane Flame, and that's when Sully gets his ideas of, hey, there's a lot of stuff that the gods aren't going to tell me. Well, time to start a coup. Oh yeah, how do we tell it's Gwendolyn's manor? The inside, there's a bunch of items related to Smo and Ornstein, which Gwendolyn could easily collect. We have a bunch of portraits related to Children of Dark and stuff, which again would obviously be up Gwendolyn's alley, him trying to get rid of all threats to the gods and all that, wherever they might be found. And then, of course, the Silver Knights, which again, they're the royal family's guard, and there's a portrait of Guinevere there. So yes, it's very clear this is the royalty's manor. In fact, we have an item description that outright says this is the royalty's manor, and obviously I should specify the former royalty's manor, because obviously the royalty's all dead. Guinevere married into the Osira, the Lothric royal family, and she's MIA, and Gwendolyn got eaten. So yeah, royal family ain't around anymore. But the point is that the old royals live here, and this is again the manor that the Silver Knights are thus tasked with protecting, because they're the royal guard. Same thing with the Anor Londo Cathedral. About the Ivory King's goodness, I think there's a subtle thing that could imply something sad. The Ivory King said heals you for each enemy of the opposite sex you defeat. Add in how Ilium Loy's priests basically get no clothes in a winter land, and their real eyes were torn out for a temporary use of a jewel that works just in a pocket. Well, he might have a not-so-good view on women. I don't know if that's a not-so-good view on women. I think that might tell us more about, the rituals that were being performed there. Because similar to how, the Sunken King is basically a priest, a priest king, right? He's pharaoh. He does both the religious and the secular duties. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something similar with the Ivory King and the priestesses and taking their eyes out and crap like that. If that's just part of the ritual. Now, like you said, it might say something about his view on women, at least before he met his wife. But again, I'll look through that possibility when I'm doing the full analysis, which I'm not doing for a while because I'm tired of Dark Souls 2. Like, patooey. Fuck Dark Souls 2. I spit on its corpse. It's burning in hell corpse. Alright, what else is on the list? Gwendolyn's Manor we can scratch off because we're not getting that. Priscilla's Tower. Priscilla's Tower. Yorshka's Tower. That finally clicked for me. I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. Alright, let's do this. Thank you. Game. There we go. Alright, is there anything better I want to get for this? I don't know. We should do our new Dark Souls 2 playthrough. No, John, don't murder me. Why do you want to kill me, John? That's just like that you could literally get charged with first-degree murder for that claim. Or at least assisted suicide. Eh. I hate this tower. This tower just... I can never get good shots involving it. I really hate that. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, girl. Well, I can get a better shot of her tail now because I don't need to worry about being doing it from a binocular angle. Oh. Don't worry, guys. I'm not a pervert. Just trying to get a low enough. Actually, no, that sounds worse. Just trying to get a decent angle on this stupid tail. There we go. Exactly the angle I wanted. There we go. Ignore the man in the corner. I actually can't tell if that's proper for her in terms of rendering, so let's get closer. Because I'm going to redo the reference shots when I move that information from Irithyll to Ariandel. Okay. Now let's get the free cam. Make sure that you're not in the way. Okay, let's see. Is this something we're maxing out the... We're maxing out the... Graphics will do anything. Let's look. I don't think effects is going to do anything. Texture quality. Nope. Nope. Texture stuff, the only thing that seems to affect is her eyelashes. Good to know. There we go. Okay. I think we're good. Mm-hmm. Just her feetsies, normal. Like, I think in concept art they have, like, little clawed toes, but I can't remember exactly. And I think her hands are normal in-game, too, right? Yeah. Yes, I know, doggy. Mm-hmm. What would Sully say about you looking under other people's skirts? I think he would welcome it, because I'm not looking up his. Does Yorshka have round pupils? Let me double check. I want to say yes. I think so. Yeah, she's got it. I can't remember if concept art looks like this, but you know, now that you mention it, Night Scout, I want to take that shot for later. She definitely has a bit more human in her. Which isn't a shocker. Actually. Can we get beneath the veil here? I swear, Chad, I'm not a pervert. I'm not... I am trying so hard to not make this weird. I swear, button sensitivity. I swear this is like a magic spell. There we go. Ah! God, if only this was a... Nah, no. Ah, no. Whatever, we'll take this shot. I don't care. Actually, this is something where we might be able to... Let me see if I can try something. Scripts? No. Event flags? No. Param? Param toggles? No. No, nothing I can just click off. Darn. I'll have to look into it more to figure out how to get that done if I can. Anyway. That's enough of you having to stare at that face. She still has some blood on her skirt near her feet. Is that blood? I guess that it would be. It could just be dirt stains or stuff like that. The fact that it's only by her clothes. Because the idea, if I recall correctly, was she was originally a prisoner in Irithyll Dungeon. That was her initial concept. So that would not be surprising given that origin. Miyazaki would proud seeing you zoom in on her feet. I'm sure he would. Anyway, I got all the stuff I could possibly want from Yorshka. I'm ready to move on to Archdragon Peak, so let's do that. I am ready. Alright. What area do I want to go to? Do I remember? I think... Right, because there is none... Okay, there's none for, This is the only time that... This is the only... Ancient Wyvern's the only boss that you don't get a bonfire for. Now that I think about it. That's kind of funny that that's the one where they break their rule. Titanite chunk. Alright. Yoshi feels like a piece of experiment where Priscilla is more like Seath proper. I mean, technically, they're all... At least with the Pisaka, or the Scylla, as they're called in Japanese, well, technically Scylla, but I don't know if that's how you properly pronounce the Greek, anyway. Oh, most of the corpses don't spawn from here. The other two aren't here. That's funny. So I guess I have to kill the boss, huh? Oh, actually, I might be able to do this with the boss here, and that'd be cooler. Yeah. Yeah, they don't even have a good old Night King Rendell wannabe here. Well, that's awkward. Alright. Let's see how this works. Oh yeah, Loki, why does an Ancient Wyvern drop a dragon head statue? That seems to imply he's not a real Ancient Wyvern. Oh. As far as, like, why does he drop the statue? I assume because we plunging attack the head, and the idea is that the statue works with the head. But I get what you're trying to say. Is he really an Ancient Wyvern if he has the power to turn you into an Archdragon? That's a good point. One argument you can make is that either A, he's trying to become an archdragon himself, or because he has that latent power within him. You can also make the argument that because I think this is the case I make in the Archdragon Peak analysis is the fact that we see so much petrification happening in the world, including with obviously the mother dragon. Wouldn't be surprised if the wyvern has something similar happening to him, and then like we obviously get a piece of that after we quote unquote plunging attack him. Though obviously plunging attack isn't necessary; it's just heavily encouraged by the game mechanics. Oh, I didn't actually teleport the my bad. All right. So that's one. That's two. That's three. Yeah, we can do better. Ring of Steel protection. What if the boss won't actually spawn in because I haven't gone through the fog wall, and that's a necessary trigger for the fly-in animation? Thank you. Just leave it open, the possibility. Yep, seems to work that way. Thank you. So now I can do this. So him drop... let's see. The head and torso stones seem like a dragon has to craft them, hence the magic and carved sigils. So him dropping such rock feels like a clue of he's a not real deal wyvern, but a transformed acolyte. Maybe? The thing is, if he was a transformed acolyte, why have an archdragon stone then, and not, like, say, I don't know, a wyvern stone or something equivalent? So, I'm not sure if I buy that specific case. Since wyverns never seem to make transformation stones, only dragons or dragon giants becoming dragons. The thing is that you can make the equal. You can simply make the case that the stones are part of their bodies, and honestly, the graphics with the quote unquote etchings or something on them, that I'm not necessarily convinced by. Because can see lots of angles of stuff where either it's natural or, you know, it's just because it's a game. Oh, why are you like this? Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta be like this? Maybe you only had the headstone and tried to do manifestation stuff for the full body? Again, but as we can see, plenty of them can very easily transform into archdragon, dragonkin forms in the mausoleum without that. You'd have to willfully choose to be a wyvern and be specifically getting that power from a wyvern, so yeah. I'm just not convinced there. To be honest, the answer you could easily make if you really wanted to is that the wyvern ate basically ate one of the worshippers too. That's another possible angle, though I'm not sure if I'd be fully convinced by that argument either. Yeah, I think this will work. That I don't like though. Something like this. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that shot. Because the current shot I have, I circle them in bright yellow to make it more obvious, because I think I got the shot, like, from what, like, here? And it's not very obvious between the grass and the way they blend in with the rock with the corpses. So it's, like, ill. So ugly. So I'm happy to replace that with an overhead shot, thanks to the free cam. Okay, what else do we have? Shack corpses done. Altar, cliff, white shot. Oh, I know what shot that is. I know exactly what shot that is. Because I think I did a shot like this or something. I wasn't quite happy with how the shot came out. Let me look at what we got. Why would a wyvern eat a worshipper? Are wyverns devolved to an animal level and could just eat a person like a dangerous predator? If we look at what we're seeing right now, it seems that people aren't welcome, so you can imagine that maybe someone who didn't go through the transformation quite yet, but is still around, might get themselves gobbled up. Similar to how we see the snake shamans summoning, say, one person who looks like they're trying to undergo draconification, but they kind of get wrapped into the whole, hey, go kill each other thing that the shaman summoners love doing. Those little snake men, those little cobra priests. Oh yeah, I think in light of your Elden Ring playing, do you think snake men are similar to worm faces, especially hunched stained cloth over their heads and necks, creepy mouth emphasis? I don't know if there's an intentional parallel being made there, but as far as the idea that they may be people transformed into it, I guess that's possible. It's never clarified the exact origins of how snake men are created. Is it Seath took humans and started transforming them into people? Or did he work on them basis? But I think it's probably the latter, because we only start seeing him using human experiments in his stuff when he kidnaps his wife's holy women at the beginning of his quote unquote madness. That's when things really start going crazy with his experiments and stuff, right? Because they get, they're literally inhumane, blah blah blah. So I think it's probably more of a case that the worm faces are like when you get like Godwin stuff in you, specifically I guess the worms, because if I recall correctly, the worms are what the I don't know what you call it, the stems, the branches of the briars, the death briars that like wrap you when you die to death blight or whatever. That seems to be the core of them. So like when the worms infest inside the bodies of people, that seems to transform them into worm faces, from what I can tell. And then they spread more death blight. I'm curious though if there's a difference between like these guys are those who survived. Like if you have enough people who take death blight, some of them will end up as worm faces, while others, of course, just die to the death blight. I wonder if it's kind of like that. So like if Rogier was like a 1 in a million chance, he might have ended up a worm face and not, well, as we saw how he ended up. But that might also his case may be unique though because he's tarnished, so that may play a role with the whole immortality shtick. The Dark Souls 3 snake men seem way more pained, hunched, and I guess gross compared to Dark Souls 1 snake men. Yeah, but there does seem to be this idea that they were designed to be more, like they're trying to keep low, they want to keep a low profile, keep your head down, don't get noticed as easily, right? Kind of like Lothric slaves. And that kind of goes in the idea they're all raggedy and, they're the type of people where, like, they're poor, right? You gotta keep in mind, like, they used to be working for a duke. Now they're out on their own in the wider world until they get to Archdragon Peak. So it's like, And obviously the god they're working for is, he's kind of homeless himself. He kind of had to set up his own little temple there with them. So it's like, not like their status in the world is been looking up since Anor Londo went kaput. Are the Archdragon Peak snake men the same species as the ones in Dark Souls 1? Yes. With its Rogier's case, it's possible the Deathblight afflicts someone as a worm face differently. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's possible that him being tarnished might play a role differently, but like I'm just trying to give an example. Okay, let's look at Archdragon Peak proper. Archdragon Peak, cliff. Nope, that's not the cliff we want. Cliff. Nope, that's not the cliff we want. Cliff. That's not the cliff we want. Actually. Oh, I can get that shot too. Reminder, gotta get this shot with the character model out of the shot. It's actually kind of funny how many shots I'm able to get without the character model. Okay, this has to be what I want, right? Yeah. So what was my problem with this shot? Oh, right, because it's super, super close to the edge. It does not... Really unnecessary. Alright, I know that shot. That's one I want to get later. Anything on Mother Dragon here? No. That's more basic bitch nameless king crap. Oh boy, yeah, yeah. Ugh. Trying to find this. This would probably be at the beginning, so I'm gonna have to double check all these gallery posts. Yeah, we already know that. I'm gonna get a new shot there. Yeah, that we don't care about. This might be the one. The problem is finding that stupid petrified dragon shot that I know I have somewhere. I know it's somewhere. Okay, yeah. I see why now. I see why I got that shot because I do already have that shot with both in the picture. So it's just a matter of, oh, what about all this here? Okay, so we basically want to take this shot, but instead of having, because I think the original shot had to have been taken from like here or something, right? Yeah, probably something like this. And I was like, with my binoculars, like, hey, we'll get this in the shot. It'll be beautiful. Yeah, like that. Yeah, something like this. Now though, I can just be like, you know, I do have this. Though again, there's the problem of the game doesn't have everything set up for these low detail poly models. I can't recall if I should expect something to be here, or if it's okay to have that see-through all the way. I want to say it's mostly okay. So I think if we do this... should be fine. Yeah, I think this will do. Again, all that looks fine. Yeah, because we don't need this. This might also work if we just, like, shift the perspective of the shot to, like, here. So we get, like, all the core pieces, but we just kind of move it to there. Yeah, it's just normal. Normal Archdrake and Peak things. God, this wyvern really is always loaded in, huh? We're getting to the point where I'm about ready to wrap things up here. Nameless King has pretty nice clothes as a hobo. I mean, he's not gonna... He leaves with his good stuff. And a fancy temple and some hinted Lothric connections. The Snake Man being this creepy and ragged seems more intentional than poverty, in my opinion. Well, again, they've been doing it for so long. Like, what are you going to change? Again, keep in mind, they were originally tribesmen. They barely wore anything. Then they go out, and now they're being depicted as, like, little, like, you know, like vandals types of deal. Again, I would not look too deep into it besides that. Man, it's still so weird that the only reason you can get the second half is because the Snake Wizard teleports you. Yeah. Honestly, enemies in Dark Souls, you can understand there's nothing more powerful than a locked door, than the door that's locked from the other side. If Snake Man just didn't do that and open the door, we'd be fine. It's as if there's still this lingering trial to make it to the altar still in place for why all the summons go up there, unless the doors were locked after Havelfan and Rogier123 got in. Listen, there's always a problem where it's like, again, the game always is accounted for you and not necessarily for all the other players and things completely, so... Yeah. Anyway, let's see. What did my list got? Okay, now there's just the Irithel dungeon stuff, so let's do that. We got all the stuff we wanted for the peak, so... Or rather, I should say for the peak by itself. Woo! Game? Oh, no. Controller. I don't know why. Sometimes this controller loses connection, and then I have to unplug it and replug it in to get it back. I don't know what's causing that. Shrine Bonfire? Shrine Bonfire. Well, I guess the Dark Souls 1 snakes look more hygienic. They look like more clean and are shiny. To be fair, though, that's Dark Souls 1 graphics you also have to account for. That accounts for part of the shininess, quote-unquote. But I agree. They are in a... Again... That's what I'm trying to... The general idea is that, yes, they were always, again, like, sort of barbaric, animalistic, tribal, right? But they were good little servants of a duke, and they were all holed up in the castle or whatever, so they're doing better. The point is to show, hey, you know, they're raggedy, they have this habit of keeping their heads low, being more, sneaky, as it were, right? They're a bit more like, you know, actual thieves, like we see in Undead Burg, right? More, a little bit of quick... mix up schemey, hide on the ceilings, try to ambush you with long necks from around corners, stuff we don't really see from them in before, and it sort of all gives the impression of, hey, they've sort of picked up some tricks, you know, like they're on the streets and all that. Anyway, I've gone over that in my analysis, so I'm not gonna harp on it. Travel, Lothric Castle. We want to go to Irithel Dungeon and then. Yeah, I guess just Irithel Dungeon. Alsana has this line about her sisters, which implies that all three, perhaps even Alana, might be innately dangerous. I mean, they're all, like, again, she's the Apostle of Fear. So, like, her entire shtick seems to be around being kind of more prone to paranoia and scares than the others. So I would not be surprised if, like, she's like, ah, yes, my sisters, they're probably more dangerous, but... Again, I think that's technically... I don't think she's wrong. Just, like, technical level. There's no denying that all of them are dangerous to be if you get on their bad side. Because, again, they're children of dark. They're a piece of a very powerful dark sorcerer. Of course, English text, you have to check JP. No, from what I recall, it basically says the same thing, so there's nothing too localization heavy there. My sister is... Oh, I see, you have the actual quote there. Let me check that out, so... My sisters are as a thick dark. Their lust for souls insatiable. May you find this will to resist their desires. I don't remember the desires part, but yes, the other stuff sounds about right. Because, yes, the point is that they're children of dark, and all the children of dark seek powerful souls, and so powerful souls is going to lead them to kings who have those powerful souls, and obviously, in the case of Nashandra at least, that doesn't work out so well. But again, as we can see with Alana, with Alsana herself, and of course with Nadalia, Nadalia is kind of weird because she never got to meet her king proper, so we don't know how she would have treated him once they actually met and she seduced him. how that was gonna work when he had a lover he couldn't give up his hot Mytha wife for. I don't know, but hey, you go, girl. Everyone wants that old Iron King crotch, I guess. Let's get the free cam. It's more that Asana mentions the sisters have an insatiable lesser souls, which generally means kills people and eats life force in this setting. Well, as we can see, the point that's made in other dialogue and stuff similar is that when they have an insatiable desire for souls, that's what draws them to the kings, right? It's supposed to be the explanation for why they go for the kings instead of, say, any other character in this setting. All right, we're gonna teleport you here. Thank you. Yeah, see, because before it was like, oh, I need to get the character in the model to get this exact angle. Now I don't need to do that. I can just have the character loot all the stuff. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you, Lightning Blade. Dragon Torso Stone. Gee, I wonder why. Guy who... Torso that turned to stone gives us a Dragon Torso Stone? I wonder what it means. Again, this is why I don't take the menu graphic for this item too seriously, considering it's a copy paste from Dark Souls 1. And on top of all that, we're also having to deal with the fact that a lot of stuff for Archdragon Peak is sort of repurposed and obviously not consistent, you know, like the dragon form itself and, you know, the illusions that it summons. So it's like, okay, just kind of accept there's a lot of cut content shit going on here. At a certain point, the video game is just a video game. Let's get something close to the original shot first, just before I start playing with my angles. Yeah, so something like this. Yeah. I'll be honest, I think I liked it better when it was far out, though, yeah. Legit think I preferred it. Yeah, I think I preferred this. And then what was the angle I got for the other thing? It was like this, right? It was like, look at this. Look at this body. So clearly turned to stone. Wow. Let's do that. Let's do that. My poor man. Draconification did not go well with you. I don't like any other angle. Yeah, move character. There we go. Good work, buddy. Maybe? No, that's definitely no. All right, I think that's all the shots I want to get, chat. I think we're gonna end that here. Great having you guys all show up. Very happy to have you. Let's see, any last minute things? Yeah, drawn to the kings, but the dark's appetite for souls often goes hand in hand with doing something that's the soul holder to take it. Yeah, but that depends on the individual character. Again, as we can see, it's not demonstrated in the other ones. You don't see anything bad happening with Alana. You don't see anything bad happening with Alsana. You don't see anything bad happening with Adalia directly. In fact, most of the fallout with them happens to be when other stuff is done to them unrelated to their king, or takes their king away from them. It seems that, at least outside of Nashandra, who's depicted as, she's literally the apostle of craving, right? Like, she's portrayed as particularly greedy and wanting. Her entire thing is to collect and have more and all that. So that's why she considers Vendrick a stepping stone to get the big soul, which is, of course, the soul of Cinder from the full first flame. We don't really see anything too crazy with them. They're just happy to kind of, be with their king and marry him. Now, who knows what happens after those kings die? I'll be making a case for something that Alana does with her king post-mortem that sort of helps with that. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up and end things here. So thanks so much, guys. Been real good to see y'all. Happy to have it. Bye, Xavier. Bye, Pokemon. Bye, Nightscale. Bye, everybody. Bye, John. Bye, anyone else who's been watching and enjoying it. Bye, all people in the VOD. Bye-bye.